Hello, everyone. Welcome to another amazing episode of Love, Life, and Energy. I'm your host, Michelle Chung. Today, we're going to talk about something deeply personal, but it's universal for everyone in relationships: the pain that love can bring. We've all heard the saying, love shouldn't hurt, but if we're honest, most of us have experienced moments where love has left us feeling broken, confused, or lost. So, why does love hurt? And more importantly, how can we heal those emotional wounds that leave behind? So today's episode, we're going to deal about why love can feel painful sometimes and how emotional wounds show up in relationships. And most importantly, how can we start the healing process so that we can approach love with openness and courage once again? Welcome to Love, Life, and Energy. I'm Michelle Chung, and this podcast is your go-to sanctuary for personal growth, designed for busy, career-driven women who are ready to embrace their highest potential and not settle for an average, ordinary life. Let's grow and manifest your dream life together. So let's begin with this big question. Why does love hurt? So at its core, love hurts because it's asked us to be vulnerable. When you're loving someone, it means opening your hearts. It means opening our heart and trusting the other person and risking that possibility of rejection, disappointment, or loss. So when emotional wounds occur in relationships, whether it's from betrayal, miscommunication, or unmet expectations, they do trigger feelings of that inadequacy, fear, doubt, even shame. These wounds can take us back to unresolved pain from our past. They really intensify that hurt we feel in the present moment. But here's the thing, the pain isn't a sign that something is wrong with you or that love isn't worth it. It's a sign that something within you is calling for your attention, your care, and healing. So it's looking for you to focus on it a little bit. Now, one of the first steps to healing is recognizing the emotional wounds you might be carrying. So here are a few common signs. There's unexplained triggers. When small things your partner says or somebody else says, does that evoke a big reaction? That's a trigger. It's something that seems a little bit out of proportion, your reaction to it, right? So this could also indicate unresolved pain from previous experiences that you haven't looked at. Maybe they've been repressed, or maybe they've been squashed down or didn't feel relevant enough to take a look at that time. Sometimes the fear of intimacy is if you find yourself pulling away or keeping your guard up in a relationship, that might also show you that you fear being hurt again. You're not able to fully open yourself up to the other person in a new relationship. You might be people-pleasing or over-giving. Are you trying to earn love or avoid conflict at the expense of your own needs? If you're not able to speak up because you were trying to avoid conflict, this could also lead to some sort of self-worth, this lack of self-worth. And maybe you have difficulty trusting. If you struggle to believe in your partner's intentions, if you're constantly questioning, does he really mean it? Is he just saying that? And not fully embracing what he says at face value, that might also be a sign that you have emotional scars from those past betrayals. So that's tainting your view. It's giving you a specific perception or perspective of the way you relate to people. So healing these wounds starts with that awareness, and you can't heal what you don't acknowledge. If you're not even aware of it, how can you actually look at it? So research is published in the journal Social and Clinical Psychology. It shows that emotional wounds, particularly those tied to attachment, it can influence the way we perceive and respond to love. When we're healing those wounds through self-awareness and emotional support, this improves our relationship satisfaction and also our emotional health. And I love this quote from Brené Brown. She's the queen of vulnerability. She's very well known for this. She says that vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. It can also be the source of fear and shame. So this is a reminder that while vulnerability can feel like it's risky, that opening up and exposing yourself, it's also where that true connection and that healing begin. So it's very much a double-edged sword, and it goes both ways. So being able to trust that the vulnerability is going to give you something greater rather than take away from you is one of the keys as well. So how do we heal when love has hurt us? So that first step is really that self-compassion. So to be gentle with yourself. So healing isn't a straight line. It's a journey of ups and downs. That's okay. It's not going to be a very linear path where you do X, you get Y. You do one thing and then you get another thing. It's going to be very much a journey where you have to be compassionate and patient with yourself. Okay. Now, seeking support, whether it's talking to a trusted friend or working with your therapist, journaling those feelings is also really good. Working with a coach, sharing your story in some way can also help release the weight of your pain. And when you're sharing, come from a perspective of growth, from openness, from being vulnerable, not from a space of being a victim or fear that this is going to happen over and over again. We want to be sharing from a space that's actually releasing and opening new space for growth to occur, and not from just dumping our feelings onto somebody else. And that's what we tend to do in therapy or with counselors. We tend to dump all our stuff onto someone else because we don't want it anymore. So this can also be very heavy and taxing for the other person, your professional that you're working with. So when you are sharing, like, a really amazing thing you can do is really share from a space of, I want to grow and learn from this. And that's super, super powerful. So the final thing you can do is also to embrace forgiveness. That's forgiving more for yourself and forgiving other people's, because that holding energy of somebody, holding them in that energy of entrapment, of that connection to you because you haven't forgiven them, you're still blaming them for things that they've done to you, can really hold you in that pattern energetically and never really heal 100%. Okay? That forgiveness doesn't mean condoning. That's one of the things that I used to worry about. Is if I forgive them, does that mean like I allow that to happen and that it's okay? No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that. Forgiveness is really just cutting those ties energetically, just moving from a clean space and saying, yes, what you did was wrong and I don't condone it or allow it, but I forgive you because I need to move on. So it's releasing the hold that it has on your heart so that you can move forward and you can be loving and trusting again. So this is a conversation that you need to do for yourself as well, to experiment and see what works with you. And if this resonates with you, you're ready to deepen your understanding of love and relationships, you can also check out my free masterclass where I talk a little bit more about how to follow your life path, your soul path, so that you can attract your soulmate. And allowing these emotional ties to be released is going to be a major part of your healing and your pathway towards your soulmate. So go ahead and check out that free masterclass. And this, even though we say, I want a relationship, I want to meet my soulmate, I want to find love, this isn't just about finding love. It's really about creating a life and a pathway forward that attracts relationships that do feel safe, fulfilling, and aligned with your highest self. So I'm going to guide you through how to do that if you decide to work with me, or if you want to understand more about how I work. I'm going to help you with practical tools to help release those emotions that may be trapped in your body. A lot of the time we do only the thinking work. We only vocalize what we think we need to release. There's a lot of emotions held in the body that need to be released on a vibrational movement level, and movement and felt sense exercise and things like that really do help release that trauma, that emotional wounds in the body as well. Which actually, so all of this work is done not just to release and come from a clean slate, but it actually helps you to raise your vibration. And this attracts the love that you deserve. Because if you're constantly attracting from the vibration of I've been hurt, I have emotional wounds, that is what you'll keep attracting over and over again. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. You can go ahead and sign up for that masterclass on the link on the show notes below. It's free. This could be a massive step forwards in transforming your love life. Okay, so thank you so much for joining me today. Hopefully all of this made sense and resonates with you in some way. Remember that love may hurt sometimes, but it also holds that power to heal, that double-edged sword that we talked about. That journey starts with you, with that love, self-compassion, the courage to open your heart again. And if you've loved this episode, make sure you subscribe to this channel. That really helps to grow and share this knowledge with everyone else. If you have an amazing friend, an amazing woman that you know would love to hear this, make sure you share this episode with her, and keep loving yourself, honoring your energy, trusting that even the hardest moments in love, they're going to lead to something beautiful. This may be over positivity, but this is really the way we work in our lives. So hope you've loved this episode, and I'll see you next time.